Hello and welcome to our very last live as part of the Triathlon Nutrition Academy launch week. Doors close at 6 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time sharp tonight. So this is the last chance you have to catch me, ask me any questions about the program, pick my brain, see if it's a right fit for you, anything like that you want to know. Now, I'm a little bit late because I was struggling with my setup. So I've got Instagram here and Facebook, you're all over the way over there. So apologies if you are watching and I am not facing you. I usually like to have them really close together, but I was really struggling with my little bendy thing right now, which is why I'm a little bit late. All right, hello to everyone that's jumping on Insta. Hey, Greg. Hey, Alex. Hey, Leslie and Amelia, all these peeps. All right, and there's a bunch of people on Facebook as well watching. So if you have any questions, please pop them in the comments section for me. It does take a little bit of time for Facebook to filter through so that I can actually see those. But one of the most common questions I'm getting asked at the moment, which I thought I might run you through, is what is the difference between the Academy and doing one-on-one consulting? And there's definitely quite a few differences. Hang on, Instagram's just paused. I'll just turn my Wi-Fi off. I'm not having a good technology day today. It is definitely the last day of launch week. So yeah, let me run you through the differences between the two, between one-on-one consulting and what I do there and what we do as part of the Academy. So we'll do the Academy first. So within the Triathlon Nutrition Academy, you have access to me, but we're doing our learning in more of a group setting. So it is not one-on-one like private consultations. We're learning as part of a group, which is actually really cool because one of the things that some of the athletes on the inside say is that they actually love hearing from other triathletes and seeing what they're doing and getting inspiration from them. And, you know, we're all talking about the same stuff together. Like it's a safe space for triathletes to, you know, just talk shop all the time. You might have some friends that don't do triathlon and, you know, you can't talk to them about triathlon stuff forever because they just get over it because they're not really into it. Hello. Hey, Nascimento. Hey, Kat, Liz. Yeah, the Academy, we've got the fundamentals, our foundational layer, which we're doing over the next 8 weeks. Every week drops in a masterclass for you that you can watch anytime in your own time. So it doesn't matter what time zone you're in or where you are in the world, you can watch that at any point. The whole program unlocks tomorrow morning at 5 a.m. my time. So if you are, behind Brisbane, then you'll get it earlier. And if you are ahead, then you'll get it a bit later in your day. But it unlocks itself at 5 a.m. tomorrow and we get straight into it. So as soon as doors close, that's it. We're straight into learning. So first module, the first cab off the rank that we're doing is our recovery nutrition, because this is one of the key areas that triathletes suck at. It's one of the topics I did on my lives this week is why your recovery nutrition sucks, because people don't get it right. Unless you've seen a sports dietitian, then you probably haven't ticked the right boxes for recovery. And you might also have the timing wrong as well. So that's the first thing that we're going to tackle, and that literally starts tomorrow. So every week you get a module to go through and listen and watch and learn. And then also every week you get me live in our power hour, which is your opportunity to talk to me, ask me questions specifically about you and your situation, because we're all very different, right? So this is not a cookie cutter, here's a template, everyone gets the same template type model. I realize and understand the intricacies of triathlon, and everyone is very different. What you like to do, what suits you, your body size, your genetics, what type of athlete you are, whether you're faster or slower, whether you're looking to win or if you're just purely looking to get to the finish line in one piece with a smile on your face. Like, it doesn't matter what sort of athlete you are, but we're all different. And so I understand that, and I'm going to set you up with the structure and the framework to tick the right boxes that you need to be ticking. But it's very individualized to you. So it's not a generic one size fits all a program at all. So that is kind of the academy how it works. So you've got a module each week for the first 8 weeks, and then you get me live every week as well. You can pick my brain, pick an advanced sports dietitian's brain that, you know, is very triathlon specific. As part of the academy, you also get access to my recipe database, which has got over 130 dietitian approved recipes in it now, just to make your life so much easier, because I know how stressful and complicated it can be if you're trying to find recipes online or in cooking books to fit what you need. And they often don't have the nutrition information as well. So you're kind of flying blind as to what they include and, you know, based on what you need. So every recipe that I've got, you have the nutritional breakdown for that. And you also get a weekly menu planner. So every week you get a plan for what you're eating for dinners. If you want to use it, you don't have to use it. There's no pressure. But what you're eating for dinners with the recipe to follow to cook it and the shopping list to get everything you need as well. So I just wanted to take a lot of the thought and the stress and the effort out of food for you, and put a lot of stuff in place to help make the transition to eating like a supercharged triathlete so much easier for you. Now, in the last 4 weeks, so it's an 8-week course, and you've got an extra 4 weeks of access, because I know that as triathletes, we're busy, we're trying to train for 3 disciplines. Some of us have full-time jobs. Some of us also have family commitments. So I know that you're time poor. So you've got an extra 4 weeks to catch up on the content if you miss something because life happens, or you want to go back and refresh and do it again. And then also to entertain you in those last 4 weeks, for those people that are on top of it and also want more, then you've got 4 bonus modules that drop in that last 4 weeks as well. So the first one's on organization and just how to get yourself organized with food. So I've got some top tips from a sports dietitian for how to actually do that, because a lot of changing food habits and behaviors comes down to organization. So I'm just going to fast track you through that. I'm going to teach you how to read a label, which is a really good skill that you can take with you forever, because labels can be quite confusing. There's a lot of marketing BS on there. And there's certain sort of guidelines that they have to meet, and then other things they can say whatever. So I'm just going to help you navigate a label so that you can look at products and compare products and figure out what's a good product for you. And then also start to have a look at the sports nutrition products that you use, so your gels and your sports drinks, so that you can learn what's in stuff and what's good and what's just a shiny object with good marketing. So I'm going to teach you label reading. We're also going to go through mindful eating, which is a mad skill that I think everyone should know. And we'll walk through an activity for how to actually do it and what it means and why you need to be doing it. And then the last module is how to make healthy choices that we've done in our day-to-day nutrition, how to translate that into eating out and takeaway. So another really common thing that I get asked for is, hey, I've got to go out for dinner. What should I eat? What should I pick off the menu? I've got this coming up tomorrow or whatever. So that is the last bonus module that you'll get access to in the last 4 weeks of the program. So again, it's just trying to help you with all of the skills that you'll need to understand. Like, I don't expect you to know everything. In fact, you're not meant to know. Unless you've done 6 years of sports nutrition study, then you don't know. And that's totally fine. That's what I'm here for. And that's what the program's about. So there's a lot of information over the first 8 weeks and then more into the 12th week. And that is what we're covering in our phase 1 fundamentals. So we're going to spend a lot of time on our day-to-day nutrition, because I believe you need to eat like a pyramid. And what you need to spend and focus more time on is the foundational layer down the bottom. And that's what we're doing in our day-to-day diet. What we eat before training, after training, and how we scale our intake up and down for harder and lighter training days. That is what is going to get you the best bang for your buck out of your training and your body, if you can do that right. Now, a lot of athletes start from the tip and work the other direction. So at the top of the pyramid here is like all of our supplements and our really advanced sports nutrition strategies. But things like, I don't know, supplements is probably the key one, because a lot of triathletes, I've seen one guy once who came in with a full duffel bag of supplements and dumped them on my desk and was like, this is everything I take. This guy had no idea how to fuel long sessions or how to eat differently on different training days. A lot of triathletes start with the supplements and shiny objects first, and then they muck around and fumble around for a while. It's not until later on that they get some sports nutrition advice from a sports dietitian, and then they understand what they're meant to be doing and start performing to their capability. So we're going to spend a lot of time in these next 8 to 12 weeks doing the foundational work. You know, we need to be patient and not stress about winning and doing all those things. We're just going to take a moment to stop and learn, because this is time well spent. This is information that you are going to take with you forever. For the rest of your life, you're going to benefit from understanding these foundations now, and they can apply forever too. I will teach you how to adapt things based on an evolving training program, evolving periodized nutrition as time goes on, and you get, you know, more and more experience in this beautiful sport that we call triathlon. So that is what phase 1 is. And then if you want to stay in the program for a little bit longer, we're going to go on to phase 2, which is our short course race nutrition strategies. So we're going to do hydration, carb loading. We're going to start to sprinkle some secret sauce and some potential supplements in here. We're going to develop our sprint race nutrition plan and our Olympic race nutrition plan as part of phase 2. So you can choose to stay on and do that if you want to for an additional cost, or you can tap out there after phase 1, the fundamentals. That's totally fine. It's up to you. If you want to continue on further beyond that, in phase 3, we're going to tackle our long course race nutrition. So that is our race nutrition for 70.3 and Ironman. So you may not be up to Ironman yet, and that's totally fine. It might be something you want to revisit later on down the track. But in this phase, we're going to spend longer making sure we perfect your nutrition for long course racing. So this one is a 16-week phase. It's double the other two, because there's a lot of nutritional stuff that needs to go into long course racing for you to have a successful day in the office. A lot of Ironman athletes fake it till they make it, and they get through the race. But once you've got some sports nutrition principles laid into your training build, you will have a much more successful outcome on race day. I've seen so many Ironman athletes turn up to Ironman and have done multiple Ironmans with absolutely no race nutrition plan. They wing it with whatever's on course on the day. They go on how they feel, and from experience, it has never ended well, which is probably why they've come to see me. So I probably don't see the people that are like, I can wing it and I'm fine. But, you know, I've seen the people that wing it and absolutely suck and don't feel great for it. But that is how the Triathlon Nutrition Academy program works. We're doing multiple phases to build your nutrition knowledge over time, so we can build up that pyramid with your nutrition from the bottom up. Now, if you want to tap out at any point and you don't want to continue on, that is totally fine. You do have the option to join our Supercharged Squad, which is just a very low monthly fee to keep access to the content. You get me in a group consult every month, and I'm also going to keep educating you. I'm going to keep your finger on the pulse when it comes to triathlon nutrition. So we're going to talk about things like low carb, high fat, and if you should do it. We're going to talk about plant-based diets and if you should do it. I'm going to do some supplement and product reviews as new things come on the market. So things like Morton, which is relatively new. We're going to talk about where it came from, why it was made and designed, what's in it, what's good, what's bad, if it's going to be useful for you. So there's lots of information when it comes to triathlon nutrition. It is, a huge, big washing machine of stuff. And I'm just going to cut a clean line down the middle for you and say, this is the evidence, this is safe, this is effective, this may be beneficial, you might want to look at it, or this is absolute rubbish, there's no evidence behind it, that is just a lot of money spent on marketing. So, hey, Kelsey. Hey, guys, that's joining on Insta. So, there's a couple of different phases. You can stay or go, doesn't matter. And if you do want to continue within our community, then you have the option to do the Supercharged Squad for a tiny monthly fee to stay within the program. So you do a lot of learning within the academy. You will learn so much deeper about why we do stuff and a bit of the science behind it. I'm not going to go like really deep in science. I'm not going to pull papers out and show you the data and stuff like that. I'm just going to condense the deep science that I've had to absorb and translate that into something that's really practical and tangible, that you can walk away with a clear plan and know exactly what you're doing, but also understand the science about why we do the stuff that we do. Because there's, so many things that you can do to get the most out of your body with nutrition. And there's certain things that are very evidence-based, and we know very clearly we're doing this for this reason. So I'm just going to teach you that, but in an easy to understand, clear, concise way, because I don't think it's valuable for your time as a busy triathlete that we pull papers out and do paper reviews. That's my job. So you'll learn much more in the academy than I can teach you in a one-on-one setting. So that is one of the key differences. One-on-one is very much, I write, see, like my little thing's gone AWOL. In one-on-one setting, I write your plan for you. So I will definitely teach you things and educate you, but nowhere near as deep as I can as part of the academy. We have a lot more time together, and you can also go back and rewatch things over and over. Whereas one-on-one, we've got 30 minutes to come up with a bit of a plan. So I'm going to talk to you about what you're doing, give you a bit of the background about what we need to be moving towards, and then come up with a plan and say, here's your plan, you go follow it. So that is really good for people that don't really care about why, have no time to do the academy program, have the funds and the budget to afford one-on-one consulting, and just want to be told what to do. They also don't want to join our awesome community of triathletes. So they just want to be a solo operator, have the budget to afford working with a sports dietitian one-on-one, and just want to be told what to do. So I'm thinking of a client of mine who's a busy business executive. He runs his own business. He has absolutely no time in his life to go through the modules, to join the question and answer sessions every week. He just wants to be told, here's what you're going to do, and go and do it. So that is another kind of key difference with one-on-one consulting. Now, the one-on-one consulting model for me, I only do packages for new clients because I'm a true believer in getting results. You don't get any results from a one-off session. But the cost of a one-on-one package with me is like roughly double of the academy, because you have my time one-on-one. One-on-one is good for, like I said, if you just want to be told what to do, and don't care about all the details or the camaraderie of our community, and you need to have the budget to afford that as well. So the academy would definitely be the most cost-effective. Now, what are some other key differences? They're probably the main two, I would say. So if, like, I've had a few people looking at one-on-one packages today that said they would join me. I can't see who's on Facebook, but I assume that you're there, Kent, just in case. Give me a holler if you're there. I offer two main packages for one-on-one consulting. One of them is like short course performance type package, which is for short course racing, sprint and Olympic. And the other one's an endurance package, which is for our 17.3 and Ironman athletes. And we go through a lot of the information that we do in the academy, but again, I'm writing your plans for you. Whereas in the academy, I'm going to teach you all the why. I can't say I'm here. So any questions, can't drop them in and I can answer them for you. But whereas in the academy, I'm going to teach you why we're doing things, give you all of the structure and the framework to do it. And then you're going and you're figuring out your recovery meal as an example. I'm going to give you examples and teach you exactly how to do it for you, because we're all individual. But I'm not saying, here's your meal plan, go and follow it, which would be the one-on-one model. So that's kind of the summary of the difference between the two. Does that answer your questions, Kent? I am definitely an advocate for the academy, only because you will learn so much more, and it's longer term, I would suggest. So whether you want to continue on and do the phases or not, or just stay within our Supercharged Squad for a low monthly fee, you get to keep your finger on the pulse with triathlon nutrition for longer. My one-on-one packages are a fixed term, and you can do single consults afterwards, after the package is over. It's not like, here's your time and then that's it, see you later forever. If you do want my help still one-on-one, you totally can do that. You just pay per consult, ad hoc as you need it from that point. But not as cost effective as the academy. The academy is definitely much cheaper way to get really advanced sports nutrition principles for a fraction of the cost. So I hope that answers that question, Ken. If there's any other questions for people that are online watching, please let me know. Apologies that I'm looking in 2 ways. It's driving me nuts. So hopefully you're not hating looking at the side of my head. If you do want to join us, though, doors close at 6 o'clock tonight, Brisbane time, sharp. And then I'm not sure when I'm going to open them again next. I'm really going to focus my time and energy on working with the athletes that are in there. So for at least the next 12 weeks and potentially longer as we go into our phase 2 short course race nutrition. If you want to join us, the link is dietitianapproved.com/academy. On Facebook, it's at the on this video, and Instagram, you can find it in my bio. Kent said, my only concern is not being race ready for Cairns 70.3 because the learnings go past that. Yeah, so like one of the things that a couple of people are doing, Kent, is doing the academy for their fundamental stuff, and then they're going to do some one-on-one stuff with me leading into Cairns to do that race nutrition. So yeah, you're right. We're not going to get to our phase 3 long course race nutrition for Cairns this year. But if this is not your last 70.3 or last Ironman, for instance, then we can make sure that next year is 100% dialed in. So you're going to focus, you're going to be patient, and you're going to focus on building a solid foundation with your nutrition. And your turn up like to that race is still going to be better than if you didn't do that. But yeah, we're not going to quite get there for Cairns. We will definitely get there for next year. But what some of the people that are inside are doing some one-on-one stuff with me just to really dial in their race nutrition ahead of that event. Ken said, yeah, that's what I want. Okay, yeah, so that could be a good place to start. If you're doing Cairns or Port Mac even, which is soon in May, and you want help with race nutrition, but you know you really need to do some work with the foundations, then do the academy to start with. We'll do the foundational work, which is really going to help with your training nutrition anyway. And then we can do some one-on-one stuff to sort of play with your race nutrition. And then you might still want to join us for phase 2 or 3 later on. And really kind of learn more and dial that in for the next one. Kent said, patience is not my strength yet. Yeah, neither is mine until I had kids. I'm a bit more patient, but definitely not patient. Patience is not my strength. But don't feel like, this is it. Like if you want to do triathlon for ages and, you're not just doing one event and then see you later, then think of this in like a big picture scheme. Like think about the type of athlete you can be in 1 or 2 or 5 years' time if you spend a bit of work actually building your nutrition like up, doing the foundational work, and then heading up towards more advanced strategies as you're learning more about nutrition. And then we're going to do some secret sauce and some sprinkles as we go. So like if you stay in the academy and you do all the phases, you're looking at like a 12-month journey potentially, which is pretty cool. So think about like where you're at now, what you'd give your nutrition score out of 10, like 1 being through the floor and just dismal, to 10 being like 10 out of 10. I'm like supercharged. I'm sports dietitian level, good with my nutrition. Think about where you sit now on that spectrum. And then think about like with 12 months or, 6 months of nutrition input, how far you would move up that spectrum in that time. So be patient. Take a step back from our shiny objects and our 1%ers and do the not so sexy work of your foundational nutrition. Triathletes are all about the latest gear. I'm saying this because I am one. You've got the latest glasses and helmet and fast wheels and a 20-grand bike, but nobody wants to know about eating enough fruit and vegetables or where a carbohydrate comes from or anything like that. So yeah, I say that from a place of warmth and love. Because, I know how you guys tick because I am one of you. And also having worked for Triathlon Australia for 6 years and working in private practice with triathletes for the last 13 plus years. Like I know you and I can read your brain and I know exactly what makes you tick. Like this is why Training Peak works so well for triathletes because you guys love making that shit go green. So foundational nutrition, while it's not sexy, it's important. And in 12 months' time, you'll look back on how far you've come and just be like, wow, this is amazing. I know so much. because you can waste so much time on Google trying to figure this stuff out. I've seen so many athletes that pull a carbohydrate target off the internet for how much they have on long rides and spend the whole run vomiting. And then they come and see me because they're having such horrendous symptoms. But you guys that are joining the academy this round are not going to do any of those mistakes. We're going to fast track you through that so that you can stop winging it. And I'll teach you exactly what you need to do. And you can put your blinkers on to all the other rubbish that's out there. Kent said, I need to balance fueling enough and losing weight. I'm still a bit heavy. I go to the extremes and can't balance. Yeah, so that is one of the common things I see long course athletes do, Kent. I have a lot of Ironman athletes that will come in to see me 16 to 20 weeks out from Ironman wanting to lose 10 kilos before race day. And part of getting that right, dropping body fat and maintaining your muscle and also surviving training is to periodize your nutrition to training. So understanding how to eat for light days, moderate days, hard days, because so often we eat the same thing all week. If you join me on the webinar during the week, that's one of the key things I talked about, because it is one of the key elements to becoming a good triathlete is actually doing that with your nutrition. So we're going to spend a fair bit of time actually doing that, coming up with a plan so that you understand how to eat for different types of training days. And then you won't fall into a heap at the end of the training week. You won't just be starving all the time or feel like you need a nap in the afternoon. But if you work, then you can't nap. So you start searching for the lolly jar or something like that. So periodizing your nutrition to training is key to getting that part right. And I'll teach you how to do that, Kent. If you want to try and lean up for cans, that's totally doable. Understanding what you need to do with your day-to-day nutrition will be key for that. And if you're in Brisbane, I don't think you are, but even if you're not, you can look at doing some skin folds with somebody locally to track your changes in body composition if you really want to know. You could also do a DEXA, and inside the Academy program, I give you guidance on where to go for a DEXA scan, which is a body composition scan, because not everywhere does a good body composition scan. A lot of places like Q-Scan will have the machine to do bone mineral density, but they don't know how to scan body composition in a way that is repeatably accurate, if that makes sense. I'm not going to go into that here. I thought I saw a question come through Insta just before. Just Keep Swimming said, I know you have a few FIFO triathletes on your program. Do you talk about the best options are for that? And as we don't always have control over that, this is the hardest thing I've found with working with other nutrition people. Yeah, so I've had quite a number of FIFO athletes over the years, Just Keep Swimming. And yeah, it is totally a challenge. Like if you've got the option to do some things for yourself that can be useful, but I can teach you how to build your plate real estate for what you need based on what's available. Kelsey, I think you were on Kelsey's live the other day. Kelsey is from WA and she's a FIFO triathlete. That's her Instagram handle, FIFO_triathlete. So she's in the program and trying to understand what she does for work weeks and training weeks. So we can definitely help you with that. I guess that's the perks of getting me live every week to ask questions for you in your situation. You can ask me whatever it is you need to get you unstuck. And then if you're still really stuck, like, and you need some one-on-one advice, then you always have the option to book in for a one-on-one consult with me, like just a single one as part of the academy. If you just need once, you don't have to do loads. But there is that option within the academy. If you are really stuck and just want to talk to me one-on-one, you just book in for a one-on-one consult. And then if you have private health insurance, you can claim that with your private health cover as well. You may be able to claim the program with private health if you have dietitian cover that covers group consultation. So the code you want to check for is code 700 with your health fund to see if they actually cover that. Not all funds do, but they do. Most funds, if you have dietitian cover, will cover the individual consultation side of things. So Just Keep Swimming said, I am 8 to 6 roster, so some days are 16-hour days, including training. Yeah, hectic. I don't know how you guys do it, honestly. It's a lot for the job, right? And then you throw triathlon in the mix because you're highly functional, so need energy to train. Yeah, totally get it. depends what you're doing at the moment. Like, obviously I don't know you and your situation, but there's probably some glaringly obvious things that you aren't getting right. And that might be around your pre and post-training nutrition, which is what we're going to tackle first up within the academy in the first 2 weeks, is to have a plan for that, because I find that nobody knows how to do that properly ever. Like, I don't think anyone has ever come in with good recovery meals that are perfect for them. And the other thing is understanding how to fuel long sessions. So as part of the foundational layer of our phase 1, we're going to spend some time working out what you're doing in your rides and working out what you're doing in your runs, and work out the foundations of what you should be doing, so that when we head into our race nutrition stuff in phase 2 and 3, you have really good baseline, and we can then layer in some more complicated sports nutrition principles to that. So they would be a couple of things I would tackle with you first. Just Keep Swimming. So I don't know what your name is. And then, having a plan for eating for when you're not training, again, is another kind of thing to understand. Like, how does that then adapt for working if you're not training? Oh, FIFO, Kelsey said, step away from the biscuits and Milo on site, Aaron. You two know each other, obviously. That's hilarious. So Aaron is training for 70.3 and long distance open water swimming 10 to 20K. Yeah, awesome. Yeah, so nice and long. You're not into the short, sharp, fast stuff. But, maybe Kelsey's advice of not eating Milo and biscuits is good, but why are you doing that? I love this. You're dobbing him in, Kelsey. So are you doing that because you haven't got your nutrition earlier in the day around training right? Or are you underfueling long sessions? Or are you underfueling really hard, long training days? So understanding that and having a periodized approach to lighter days, moderate days, heavy days will help you not reach for the Milo and the biscuit tin at work. All right, Kent, are you still there? Do you have any other questions? Funny. Any other questions? Hey, Bex and Brenny on Insta. All right. And, if anyone wants to ask me anything offline, that's totally fine. I'll be pretty much glued to my phone for the rest of the afternoon until 6 o'clock. So send me a DM on Insta, send me a message on Facebook. You can also send an email. I'm kind of trying to check all methods of communication regularly. Kent said, I'm good. Have you made a decision, Kent, or do I need to call you in a bit? Aaron said, coffee. Thanks heaps. You're welcome. Caffeine is definitely beneficial to get you through long days. And there is some performance elements to caffeine, which you'll learn about as part of the Triathlon Nutrition Academy as well. Bit of glycogen replenishment, et cetera, et cetera. I'm not going to go into all that here. Kent said, I'm in. All right. So if you're joining us inside the academy, you need to go to dietitianapproved.com/academy right now. You've got until 6 p.m. tonight. So Kent, I know you're picking up the kids later, so you want to do that now before 3 o'clock hits. And if you want to chat, let me know. What else? So 6 p.m. the doors are shutting, and then 7:30 p.m. Brisbane time, we're going to jump on and have a welcome party with our athletes all over the world. I'm really excited for that. So I'm just going to prep some balloons for that in a minute and get ready for that party. That's going to be a lot of fun. And then, you can go to bed, because I realize 7:30 is quite late for triathletes, depending on where you are in the world. All right, any last questions? Otherwise, I might jump off. If you do want to chat this afternoon, like if you want to chat over the phone or Zoom or whatever, I'm happy to jump on. Just get in touch. Or we can voice message DMs on Insta or Facebook. There are some good ways to sort of chat through things. If you have any questions or hesitations, or you just want me to answer anything for you, it's totally fine. But I might jump off now if there's nothing else coming through. Aaron said flat Coke the winner. Yeah. We'll talk about those sorts of things when we get to our race nutrition phases. All right. Well, thank you so much for joining me live. And, thanks for joining me and hanging out all week. It's been fun. I'm pretty much losing my voice. My throat's quite sore and tired from talking all week, but I've loved going live every day and launching the Academy program out into the world. It's been, so much fun. I've had conversations with athletes all over the world. It is just unreal. And I'm so glad that you're starting to think that nutrition is an area that you need to tackle and get some structure for, because it is a huge part in you performing better. A lot of triathletes will, buy an expensive bike, but really what you're doing day to day is going to have so much more impact with your speed and not getting injured and sick all the time, and also getting your body composition right. Dialing in your nutrition can help you lean up and maintain muscle mass without falling into an absolute slump by Friday. So yeah, I'm excited to get started tomorrow. It's going to be a really fun 8 to 12 weeks. And then we're going to head into our phase 2 short course nutrition. And then we'll go through phase 3 stuff later on as well. So yeah, big year ahead. I'm really excited. Now is your chance to jump in if you're sort of sitting on the fence watching, thinking this sounds good. I haven't set a date for opening doors again. Like I said in the beginning, I just want to spend all my time and effort really working with everyone that's in there. I can't remember what number we're up to just yet, but there's enough of you that it's going to take up a lot of my time getting you all sorted. So head to dietitianapproved.com/academy if you want to join. And hopefully we'll see you on the inside. Ken said, I'm tired of being tired. Thanks. You're welcome. I'm going to fix that. We'll turn you into Supercharged Triathlete. All right. I will talk to you this afternoon if you need it. Otherwise, I'll see you on the inside. All right. Bye.